I'm sure as you, many of you have fun and fond memories of junior high, and some of you are looking forward to the day you get to go to junior high. It's great. So it was for me. I was excited to go. I had decided that I wanted to play the French horn. I have an older sister, Mary, who is 4 years older than me, that plays the French horn. So when it came time to join band, of course the instrument I wanted to play was the French horn. As junior high started, I found out that the band teacher had put me in concert band with the ninth graders. Here I was, a little sixth grader, just barely going into junior high, which is scary enough. You have those stories of how the ninth graders pick on the seventh graders. And I'm put into concert band with all ninth graders. To say I was terrified was the least of that. I committed early. I was going to take that French horn home every single night, and I was going to practice. I was going to be good, and I was going to be careful in that class around ninth graders. Now, I also have a sister, Melissa, and we were both in seventh grade together. In fact, we had gym class together. So we would walk home every night, and every night I'd be carrying my French horn. On Fridays, we had to also take home our dirty gym clothes. And that was no problem. I had this great, big, huge French horn. And so we'd stick our gym clothes in there. She always liked the bell of the French horn because it was huge. She'd shove all of her stuff in there. I'd shove my stuff around. And if I had a little book or papers, we'd put those in, click it off. And we'd take turns walking home carrying that big old heavy French horn. And when we'd get home, we'd empty it all out, take out our gym clothes, throw them in the laundry, and the weekend started. This was no different than most. We were very busy, had a great time. Monday morning rolled around. We loaded up our books and everything. I grabbed my French horn and off to school. When I got to school, I hurried and put my French horn in the locker in the band room and went off to my other periods. Well, whenever it came time for concert band, I would run like the dickens to get into the band room, go to the locker where my French horn was, hurry in and open up the French horn case, grab it, and then run down and sit in the French horn section. I was the last chair. That means the last seat out of all the French horn players. And I would sit there quietly while all the ninth graders were coming in. I'm sitting there holding my French horn, being very quiet and not really having eye contact with anyone. And I noticed, ew, the band room is exceptionally stinky today. Now, a band room has an odor all of its own anyway, but on this day, seemed really yucky. I just sat there and people came in, trombone section, all the guys behind me, they got their trombones, and they're, and then you hear, ooh, it stinks in here. And then the other sections start filling in, more and more people are in, and more people are complaining about how it stinks in the band room. I'm thinking it surely does, but I don't want to get involved in the conversation. Take out my mouthpiece. I stick it right on top of my French horn. I thought, I'm going to blow some warm air in there and get all that metal tubing warmed up. So I have my mouthpiece on. I take a big breath. Oh my gosh. I sucked in air and it felt like I sucked in a dirty, stinky tennis shoe. Ugh, I almost threw up. I leaned away and then I grabbed my hand to stick it inside the bell. Something was in the bell of my French horn. It was crusty feeling. That's when the light went on. Oh, no. It had to be Melissa's stinky gym socks. They were inside the bell of my French horn, locked away the entire weekend. I didn't practice, and it stunk to high heaven. That's what that smell was. Melissa's stinky socks. I was panicked. Oh no! What happens if all these kids in this class know that I'm this stinky person? What am I gonna... I gotta cover this up. I reach in the bell with everything I have because I'm ready to throw up. I grab that crusty thing. I pull it out as quick as I can, and I have a dress that has little pockets on the front. I shove it down in that pocket as tight as I can, and then I stick my dress in between my knees, and I just squeeze my legs together, hoping that the wretched smell is not going to penetrate any farther into the room. I'm sitting there. I am totally self-conscious, and I can smell the fumes still lifting through the top of the tubing and out my mouthpiece. People are really complaining. They're getting upset. I am doing everything not to throw up. And that's when Mr. Roberts, the band teacher, says, "Knock it off, everybody. I don't care what you smell. It's time to get ready." And he held up his wand, which meant everybody hits the warm-up key and starts blowing. I take a breath far away, and I blow my warm-up note. It felt like an eternity sitting there. I was so worried that the people around me could smell my stench. Every time I'd look, I'd see the 9th graders in the French horn section looking at me. I thought, they think I am so stinky. It was hours and hours for me. It was intense, terrible torture being in that classroom. I kept looking at the clock. Finally, the class was over. I jumped out of my seat. I ran. I threw my French horn in the case and shoved it in the locker and ran for the bathroom. The minute I hit that bathroom, I reached in, pulled out those stinky, filthy socks, threw them in the trash, ran, started scrubbing my hands, soap, water, everything that I can. Washing, scrubbing, washing. Oh, but I can still smell it. I reached down and grabbed... The stench is embedded in my dress. I just grab my dress and I run it under the water and I wash it and I scrub it and rinse off the soap. Okay, the stench is gone. Dry it off with a paper towel, squeeze it, turn it, get every bit of water. I have a big old glob wet spot there, but I didn't care. I couldn't smell it. Off I went to the rest of my classes. Lesson learned: if you're going to use your instrument case as a suitcase with your dirty gym clothes, you better make sure you practice every single night.